Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a review on the FW-190 D-12. This is the last Focke-Wulf I have to spade, but I've still got the two tars yet. And well, I'm not a big fan of Focke-Wulfs. I'm going to say that straight off the bat. I just don't like the lack of controllability that these things have. They have good roll rate, yes, but they're just not my sort of plane. I like flying them, I mean, they're good, but personally, I'd be in a 109 over these any day of the week. But that's just my opinion. Like I say, you can have your own. What I've got here is I'm just showing you the maximum payload of this aircraft. If you choose to use it in tank forces, 450 kilo bombs and a single 500. The only bomb I had to carry on this thing was a 250, and well, that was when I was obviously spading the thing. I only had to use it once or twice. I think I only used it once or twice, like I say. But it was really fun to play this thing, and obviously get it spaded and everything. So obviously I'm going to take the bombs off because, well, we don't really need them. There is a lot of bomb racks that you need to research. Obviously the best one is right here, 1 500 and 450s. You're going to have to go down this way and then obviously to the right. In terms of performance, this thing is incredible. It's got really good performance at both low altitude, high altitude, or mid altitude and high altitude, where it is actually better than the D9 due to its streamlined cowling, shall we say. And once you get above about 25,000 feet, this thing really gets into its stride. I have to say that. Now, in today's battle, we actually have a guest appearance. A useful teammate. I know, that's quite rare on this channel, isn't it? But yes, all jokes aside, I really enjoyed spading this thing. It was a lot of fun. Although, I did have a lot more deaths in this thing, if I remember rightly, but even so, I'm not that fussed, as long as I got it done. 9 kills, 31, oh sorry, 9 deaths, 31 kills, 48 ground targets. That's about almost a 4-to-1 KDR, which, to be honest, I look for about a 3 in a Focke-Wulf 190, so I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I'm not the best Focke-Wulf pilot, I'm going to say that right now, but I know roughly how to fly these things, so I got it done, at least. I've got the two TARs yet, the H and the C. Personally, after the one flights that I've had in them, I prefer the C because of that firepower. But that's just me. Obviously, as I get them spaded, that will probably change. You never know. But this thing is really good, and I highly recommend people giving it a go. So let's jump into the battle. Let's have a look at what I got up to. And I forgot to put in the ME410 B6R3 into the spaded bit because, well, I've spaded that. It was alright. I mean, I did a lot of ground pounding in it, and obviously farming on bots if I could. So most of the kills you'll see on the stat card of that battle, yeah, they're bots. So don't expect me to be like some sort of legend with the B6R3. I'm not. It's just bots. Because, well, they do count towards your stat card, and, well, they're easy points, so why not? So, today's useful teammate is Ratty623 in his J2M3. And, well, we're fighting some pretty dangerous shit. Like I say, Alien 9, P-51H, Spitfire Mark 22s, you name it. Some pretty dangerous aircraft, including a P-47M. So obviously, take off, this thing takes off incredibly quickly. Wheels up, and we're underway. Now, there's quite a bit of dead zone before the actual fight begins, so I'm just going to cut ahead to it. Side note, for any German viewers, could you do me a favour and actually translate what the rear headrest says? Because I know it says Achtung, but yeah, I'd love to know what that actually says, because I'm really curious. So, any German viewers, so Hartwood Krupp Star, that's your assignment, mate. Your assignment, translate the rear headrest on the Focke-Wulf 190 D-12. I think it's in the D9 as well. So, after a great start already, our team has, well, high altitude interceptors, aka I believe, a J7W has actually dove down. Yes, the J7W has actually dove down to go after some IL-10s that are attacking the boats. Hooray. Like, those really mattered. I mean, they do bleed your tickets nicely, but even so. So at this point in the Spade, I believe I was working on cover. I already had all the engine mods done, so I've got as much power as I can get out of this thing. And like I say, I believe I was either working on cover or I was working on the bomb racks. I believe it was the cover. So obviously I'm looking around and I am climbing up. Ratty623 has got a Yak 3U on him. I still haven't done a video on that thing, and I'm sort of glad I haven't, because, well, it was at 6.3 at one point, it's at 5.7 now. I might do a video on it at some point. I don't know. I'll decide. So our team is currently involved in a low altitude dogfight, whilst me and Ratty are up at 15,000, nearly 16,000 feet. And, well, our team is going to get pretty beaten up. And, of course, our 109K4 is over there chasing a B-29. Hooray. P-47M has just killed the J7W, who went after an IL-10, didn't see the P-47, and paid the price. Really useful to the team, aren't you? Same with that K4, who has been chasing that B-29 for nearly 5 minutes now, and yeah, he's not going to do anything. I believe he actually dies to the B-29. So it's a Yak 3U spots me at the last second. I attempt to get a shot, I miss. The MK108 I was actually trying to practice with, and, well, it did the job. I mean, if I hit the plane with it, it definitely killed them. Let's just say that. Ratty623 manages to kill the Yak 3U. Obviously, I didn't hit the Yak 3, so I don't get the assist, because, well, I just don't. And we are going to communicate quite a bit in chat. He thanks me for giving him a hand, and I just put a chat, no problem, because, well, that's what teammates should do. Except most of them don't. So obviously at this point in the battle, most of our planes, well in fact all of our planes that were on the deck are now dead. Yeah, they're all dead. Except for me, that K4, Ratty, and those two bombers right there. Can I just point out, our only 6.3 plane was that G8N1 Renzan. Just saying. And I am not looking forward to spading that thing. Let's just say that. So obviously, we're under a bit of pressure now. Because, well, it's just me, Ratty, and, well, the 109K4 is about as useful as tits on a fish, so he's not really useful. And, well, the bombers are doing their job, so that's all I can ask of them. I mean, I believe the 177 fails to actually... Well, he's not dealing with a P-51H at the moment. But that's fair enough. He's obviously trying to get out of there. He's diving a bit, but obviously I'm coming in to assist with the P-51H. So obviously, as you can tell by the timer up there, it is a long battle. It was a bit of a long battle. I mean, 20 minutes long. It was a fun battle, though. So obviously, the LA-9 comes up and smacks the 177 out of the sky. I told Ratty to go for that LA-9 whilst I focused the P-51H. That BF-109K has finally managed to intercept the B-29 and has crit it. He spent the whole game chasing that B-29. Now at most altitudes you will not be able to catch a P-51H, but obviously this guy was climbing, so I do have the speed advantage for the moment. Now that LA-9 I believe is actually out of ammunition, so he's in a bit of a bad spot. But he is going to retreat, so to speak. So obviously, I can sort of catch a P-51H in this thing. In a 109G10, you won't be able to. The BF-109K finally kills the B-29. And obviously, the P-51H puts it into a dive. And I just pull the nose back up and I start climbing altitude. Because, well, there's no point chasing after a plane that's already dove. If he comes back up for a shot, I will obviously do what I'm about to do in a second, because he does pull up for a shot. And obviously I pull it into the vertical, where the Dora is really good in the vertical. I have to say that it is a god in the vertical. The H pulls up, it's spraying like a madman. He's obviously running stealth rounds. I've seen a lot of people running stealth rounds recently. And, well, he's stalled out massively. He's trying to get away, but this guy just was screwed. And, well, the 20 mils, they worked like a charm. First kill. But, of course, what's our 109 friend going to be doing? Well, he's ran himself out of ammunition, that's what. I mean, it shows that he's got it, but he's not got much. So, the LA9 has actually gone back to base. There is a Spitfire, a P47, which is right there, that little dot right there that you just saw then. That is the P47. The LA9 has managed to retreat. The Spitfire, I don't know where he is at this current time. The A26 has actually bombed out some of the bases, so he is currently heading back to his airfield. As for that P59, he's actually going to go for some ground targets later and is going to, well, die to AAA because, well, AAA. So obviously, I see the P47M. Obviously, I identified it as a P47 before I even dove in and got the marker. The flaps on the door are really useful. Obviously, you can't use them at these sorts of speed, but they are incredible regardless. Scored a hit, 30 mil hits, and that's the end of him. Second kill. This is an incredible plane for maneuvers like that. It just does anything you want it to, except turn fight, because this thing cannot turn for shit. But with the flaps, I mean, you could give some fighters a hard time at higher speeds. Obviously, the GAN1 is providing us a bit of a scout. He's spotted the P59, who has just died to AAA. He's literally just died to it. I ask in chat, right, he wants his fuel load, and he's got the same fuel load as me, 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute battle. Let's just say I finished this battle on fumes. I didn't actually go back to the airfield for a refuel. I stayed it out hoping I could get the last guy, which I do. Spoiler alert. But, yeah. I put in chat, I've got 10 minutes left. I had about 10 minutes 45 in the tank, so I was hoping I could finish this battle without needing a refuel. And, well, luckily I do. So obviously I'm going towards their airfield to have a look, see if I can spot anything. Obviously I thought at the time there was 2 Spitfires left and a bomber. No, there's 1 Spitfire, there's an LA9, and there's a A26. Now the blind hunt order activates onto the A26. I was looking around at high altitude, and it's at this moment I spot a bogey on my 6. It's the Spitfire. So I say to write in chat using obviously radio command saying on me, and I say to him same altitude. But obviously, as you can tell, I am much faster than this Spitfire. He's a clip wing, so he is going to be slower than me. But if he roll pretty similar to me. So at this point, obviously, I crank the nose around and I'm thinking, well, if I can at least force the Spitfire to maneuver, we can at least try and force him down. That's the plan. So I go for a cheeky head-on, I dodge out the way. Shouldn't have been firing that long, to be honest, but I just keep on going. If you're in a door and you miss a head-on, or you dodge a head-on like that, just keep on going. This thing will have the speed to outrun most of your foes. It is incredible with its speed. Now the plan was to try and bait the Spitfire as Ratty engaged, but the Spitfire knew what we was trying to do, so he's trying to force it low and use his roll rate, which is perfectly acceptable. He did exactly what he should. Obviously I'm on 2 kills already. I do want to get the Spitfire as soon as possible. I'm coming in, and well, the LA9 shows up. But the Spitfire rolls right as I was about to get guns on. He's firing that thing beautifully. And well, I just keep on going. I know the Spitfire cannot follow me at the speeds that I can do. He starts firing, but it's too late. I'm already gone. That Spitfire's lost all of his energy. And well, obviously I don't want to leave Ratty behind because I don't know where the Spitfire's going to go. But he has just crit the LA9 in the engine department, so the LA9 is, well, he's about to die. There he goes. So at this point, the Spitfire pulls up for Ratty, and I'm thinking, come on, full power. So I'm on web, I'm whipping the bollocks off this thing, trying to get up to him. And, well, the Spitfire, again, he knew exactly how to defensive fly, and obviously I can't follow those maneuvers at these sorts of speeds. Just look at that, he's flying the thing beautifully, I do have to say that. But obviously, I know what to do. Keep throttle going, and just keep on going. That's all you have to do. If you can't get a shot on a target, just keep on going. That's all I advise. Do not turn. That's all I will say. So again, coming on another dive, obviously the Spitfire's trying to run to his airfield, it's difficult. And, well, he's going to pull another sharp turn, which I could actually follow that, but I decided not to, because obviously I would probably plant into the ground as well. So I kept on going, pulled back up, and went back for a climb, because obviously he will not be able to follow me at the energy state I was at. Now, so at this point, Ratty goes for a dive, and the Spitfire starts turning to go for a shot at Ratty, but at this point, he's sealed his fate. At this point, I'm so sick and tired of this guy. I hit him with a 30, and that's the end of his pilot. Third kill. Now, I was considering heading back to base at this point. I put in chat, fucking great teamwork, because it was a fucking great battle, is all I'll say. This guy pulled his weight, like, he was probably one of the best teammates I've had in a while. So, Rated623, if you do happen to watch this video, mate, shout out to you. You're a legend, is all I will say. But, without that guy, without Rated623, I wouldn't have been able to win this battle. So, what do you think Mr. 109K4 is going to do? Is he A, going to wait around the airfield and wait for the A26 to take off? Or is he B, going to try and vulture him? If you guess B, congratulations, you win nothing, but you win the laughs, really, because, well, he's going to fail at doing it. In fact, let's jump to his perspective. He damages the A26, fair play to him. But obviously, because he's on an airfield, the fire will go out. And, yeah, he just flies straight in front of all the AAA guns. And as tough as the 109K4 is, it's not airfield AAA tough. There's just parts flying everywhere now. But he's that shit, he can't even vulture an aircraft. Good night, you useless vulturing scumbag. Obviously at this point, I've derped up a couple of ground targets whilst we was in his perspective. And that artillery piece right there is the last one that I kill. To point out my ammunition load at the moment, the 30mm is out. I used it on the ground targets because it actually works surprisingly well on ground targets, the 30mm does. If you want to know what belts I was running, air targets in the 20s, night in the 30s, or in the 30, 500 meters convergence. Because I can. To be honest, the wing root guns, they didn't really feel that bad to aim. It's just, yeah, gun convergence can be reliant, but it's just subject to opinion. It's when you get into aircraft like 109's gun pods, is when you want to sort out your gun convergence. I tend to run 600 meters for a 109 with gun convergence on. For a Dora with wing-mounted guns like this, I tend to run 500 because obviously they are quite close to the fuselage, but it's always nice to make sure. So, A26 has just took off. I've obviously got ammo, but I've got 4 minutes of fuel. And, well, there's about 2 minutes left of this battle, so you can guess that I do get the kill on this guy. But let's just say, after this engagement, I was on fumes. I don't think I'd have gotten back to the airfield with about 3.5 minutes of fuel left. I'd have had to throttle back like a boss and just hope that I could make it to at least the B point to refuel. But this A26, he decides to leave his airfield safety, so at least he had the balls to try and fight. I do have to give credit to Kipowden, or Kippiden, however you say his name. He did try and fight. But obviously, It's a 190 D12. It's going to tear apart an A26 in most situations, even without the 30mm. So at this point, obviously I've got the throttle wide open. I'm trying to close the gap, but this A26, I'm just roping him in. If there's one thing the 190 D12 can do, it is catch up to aircraft like an A26, like it is nothing. So I pull up, the A26 goes into gunner view, but I think he's on a PS4 controller because his aim was crap. And well, Rosas 70 did tell me once that aiming with a PS4 controller on turrets is incredibly hard. But even so, that is my fourth and final kill of this battle, and that's the end of the battle. Like I say, I'm really impressed by this aircraft. I hope I'll be able to use it in Tank B to some extent, because it's obviously got a good bomb load, same as the D9. The D9 is the exact same payload, it's just different gun setups. But I really recommend people give the D12 a go. Obviously, if it's at higher altitude, this thing's your best. Or your best bet, because obviously it's got better performance. More lower altitudes, you're going to want the D9, but to be honest, the D12 handles just as good as the D9 at lower altitude. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's video on the D12, and I'll see you all on the next one.